Yahoo has been a very strong contributor to both our education and our research efforts for quite a few years. But today we're going to take a big step forward with a collaborative research project on mobile applications and what they can provide in a very proactive way with access to information, which we're calling this project the In Mind Project.
So very briefly, if you've been following Yahoo at all recently, you're aware that one of the major emphases of the company is around what we call personalization. Creating inspiring and entertaining services for all of our hundreds of millions of users around the world and trying to make them the most interesting, most appealing, and most engaging services by knowing enough about those users that we can satisfy their interests at the right time and in the right place. Also, we've had a recent and very strong continuing emphasis on mobile uses of our services. And we're bringing those two things here together in a way in this collaborative effort with Carnegie Mellon. What we're about to start is a 5-year, $10 million program that's really a very strong collaboration between the two institutions. In the past, like many other companies, we've given money, we've given servers and other things to the university. But in some ways, this is a lot more appealing because it's really an intellectual coupling between the two institutions. And so this really feels like the next very large step in a journey towards sort of a grand dream of the far-flung future where computers will work in very close partnership with humans in ways that are very natural, anticipating what people want at the right time and in the right place, being very responsive to requests, being able to deal with ambiguity and uncertainty, and also being very supportive and friendly rather than perhaps intimidating. The program, which Tom will talk a little bit more about, involves multiple elements. One is something that we might call a mobile toolkit. And this, we believe, certainly for Yahoo and perhaps elsewhere, is unprecedented, where we are creating a software package that will allow faculty and students at Carnegie Mellon to use real Yahoo service infrastructure and to create imaginative new versions of services and things we've never dreamed of that they can experiment with here on campus, both internally at the university and with us in partnership. And this is very exciting for both of us. It allows students whom we'd love to work with later in their careers, as well as faculty to get access to, in a sense, the real thing. Real services, real data, not artificial packages created for classroom pedagogical use. This is great for us, and we hope it will be great for Carnegie Mellon. Another element of the program are a series of fellowships. We'll call them Yahoo Fellowships. They will go to faculty and students over a sustained period of time, which is also a very important ingredient here, because it's one thing to give gifts that last for a year or a number of months, but the kind of work that we do that's really looking far out over the horizon really takes a long, committed effort. So, in fact, these fellowships will last as long as the graduate students need them. And they will lead to, we hope, collaborative work where students and faculty come and visit us at our labs, most likely in California and in New York, but perhaps elsewhere. And many of our wonderful Yahoo scientists and engineers will come and spend time on campus here.
This is really an unprecedented gift in the history of the machine learning department and also in the history of the Human-Computer Interaction Institute, which Justine heads. We've never had this kind of magnitude of gift in our entire history, and it's going to make a very significant difference in terms of the life of our graduate students who are trying to do research and the whole type of work that we can do. Imagine for a moment that you're a university faculty member interested in doing research of the type that Ron just described, trying to invent new approaches that might be in the software companions of our future. You want to do this. A typical life of a faculty member is that you might write a proposal, let's say, to the National Science Foundation, and you might get funding for supporting 2 students and maybe part time for yourself. And then, if you think about that, it's really impossible to do, under those circumstances, realistic research that can be embedded in a realistic scenario. If you have some idea about software to try out, say in a mobile device, just you and your two students don't have the infrastructure for doing that. This is a game changer. This new Yahoo collaboration is a game changer for us at the university. It rewrites what becomes possible for us to do. And we're going to draw together the research of not just one faculty and two students, but we're going to cherry pick across the entire university the most relevant research in computer perception, how to make sense of microphone and camera signals, in learning how to do personalization, in human factors and design and interfaces, in the Human-Computer Interaction Institute, for example. And by pulling these together, we'll be able to put together a kind of prototype system, fielded on top of and surrounding Yahoo's infrastructure, and we're going to have a concerted effort to sign in opt-in users on the CMU campus, many of the students, for example, to be living in this test bed, this research test bed.
A very large percentage of the things that people do every day with smartphones, including mail and search and checking the weather, dealing with sports scores, fantasy sports, finance, etc., are major offerings from Yahoo. And so the idea is that we want to provide in the long run this multifaceted kind of unified experience where you are when you need it on devices of various form factors. They could be phones, they could be tablets, they could be devices that have yet been unanticipated. So what we've always done in our Yahoo Labs context is outreach of various sorts to key universities. We like to work as much as we can in the open. We publish, we participate in international forums and the like. And so the idea of, in some sense, multiplying our intelligence around problems like this by partnering with great institutions was kind of a natural thing to do. And once the first idea sort of took root, we started talking about what we might do together, then it was pretty easy to imagine how it would benefit both institutions and how we could do something, as Tom said, that was really quite big.